Okay, let's do the introductions, shall we? Charlie, my absolute pleasure having you here today. Thank you so much in joining us. This is Charlie Kraslavsky, everybody. The actual live action Chris Redfield from the original Resident Evil 1. How are you today, Charlie?
It's a pleasure to be here.
Everyone's really happy to see you. They're all like, oh my God. So guys, for anyone that doesn't know, Charlie's from his phone right now, so he's not going to be able to see the chat. When we start the speed run, I will pull out questions that you've got for Charlie, and we'll just go with it. We'll work it. Charlie, question. Have you actually seen the game played much? Do you play games? What is your thoughts about this game? Obviously, I know you was in it, but can you start off with that?
Yeah, I've seen the game played. I played it a little bit about a year, maybe like 14 months ago, when Greg and Eric and I reunited and did our interview, and we all shared the controls and took turns for a little bit, but we were just so crap at it, eventually I think.
Well,
and Andrew took over, and played the game while we were talking, and Eric had no patience for it at all. And I tried, and I kept, the Cerberus kept getting me, and I was like, And then when we gave the control to Greg, he was actually kind of pretty good at it. And he was pretending like he'd never played it before, but I think he played it a little bit, probably.
Yeah, I think he's telling lies there.
And then I think it was when we were in Germany at with Andy Sperling and Krishmir Kanasovich, and we were filming there. We did a live stream, and they did RE2 remake. So I got to see that game played, and I've been trying to do my homework a little bit. So sometimes I just go on YouTube and watch gameplay. I've watched a little bit of the new RE4, which is really cool.
Yeah, sorry, I accidentally started the video. I didn't want to start until you finished what you were saying there. My apologies there. I really apologise about that. It's very rude of me. I don't know if you've seen this version. This is like the newest version where they've actually fans have just made it even better with the quality of the footage.
Like the 4K Ultra version or something like that?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So this is and they've made some slight changes as well, so it's really interesting watch, and you'll get to see yourself in 4K and upscale.
Did they change the music or something?
There is a change of music, yeah. Especially at the end of the game, they've redesigned it. But yeah, we'll watch this footage anyway, because we get to see you. We get to see you, and then you can. I've got some questions around this scene actually that we can talk about in just a moment. But I think we should have a little watch of this first.
It was Bravo Team's helicopter. Nobody was in it. But strangely, most of the equipment was still there. However, we soon discovered why.
Here he is, everybody. The one and only. It's quality, that is, dude. It's quality. I love it. Hey! Over here! By the way, I want to be the dog in the Keeper's Diary as well. Just for
you want to be the dog?
I want to be the dog. I'm going to come over to the US and pitch it. Oh God. Look at that story.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, for sure, Johnny. Still looks the same. I know, just a beard.
Joseph!
There's me sipping on energy drink, and you've got a nice cup of coffee. I'll tell you.
No! Don't go!
You got to do that for us. You got to do that for us today. Don't go!
All right.
Run for that house!
This is my favourite part, though. The introductions of the characters. I love it.
There are only 3 STARS members left now.
Yeah, it's brilliant,
Captain
isn't it?
Wesker, Jill, and myself. We don't know where Barry is.
Here he is again.
Chris Redfield.
25. Yes, he can,
Jill
Johnny, yes.
Valentine. Barry Burton.
Barry Burton.
Barry.
Big Barry.
Rebecca Chambers. Albert Wesker. Resident Evil.
There we go.
Resident.
There we go. For everyone tuning in, welcome on in. Welcome to our little speedrun rendition of Resident Evil 1 with the one and only Charlie.
Where's Barry?
Where's Barry? Let me just set this game up a bit for you. I know, guys, I can see there's a few questions already made. I will go for them shortly, I promise. But Charlie, I've got a question for you.
Okay, Jill and
All
I
right.
will
Tell
stay
me
home in
about
case
that
of an
whole set
emergency.
that we just watched. How did that come to be? I mean, what was the conditions like?
Chris?
Yeah, was it hot, dark, dungy?
care.
You know, how did it come to be?
Yeah, so I think we had, for me, I think I had 3 days of shooting altogether, and that was the first day. Was that exterior scene, and it was around this time of year, as I remember, like around August, and Tokyo. August is extremely hot. And the mosquitoes are out, like with a vengeance. And the Japanese are very small, but they're really itchy. And we were out in this field. It was right near the Tama River, which I think kind of runs from central Tokyo, kind of northwest along river. And I don't remember the exact location. I do get that question quite a lot. I've kind of looked on a map and tried to figure it out, but there's just really no way.
Yeah.
And it was kind of seemed like maybe some kind of an abandoned warehouse. And we also used the interior for, the scene, like the opening where I'm running down the hallway and then it ends up, on my eye. That was inside at the same location. And I think we did that part first, and then we went outside, and they had like all these like smoke machines, and the animatronic dog, and
Yeah,
Greg
the dog.
remember that. Yeah, I think they did that part first, the close-ups of the dog, while everyone else was kind of being briefed on what to do, and the people from Capcom were very secretive, and they didn't tell us a lot. They were trying to keep everything about the game very secret, so they just did kind of on a need-to-know basis.
I just
And
joined the Stars Bravo team
I
last month.
remember, like in the hallway,
I'm really
seeing
sorry.
Shinji Mikami, like, just imagine there's a big werewolf chasing you. I want to tell us
Are you the
about
only person here from
what the creature.
Well, because the
And then
helicopter made a forced
in the
landing.
field where
I
we're
just ran
running,
into this
just
house
like,
anyway,
run
but
like you're scared and shoot your gun, and like that. And it was all very exciting, and I think it was exciting for them too. This was ground zero for game, and
It's strange. I
um,
serviced the helicopter recently, but something went wrong
we
with
also
the
had
engine.
like
It
some
was
behind the
such a
scenes
short flight.
stuff, where they were filming us in between takes, and I remember just kind of sitting there and
Well, what should I
trying
do
to look
now?
all cool and brooding and
You
stuff.
go out to search for the
Well,
other
it worked.
members. How about letting me come with you?
And I think we probably started, around 5 o'clock in the evening, and then
I'll wait here.
it stays light, and quite late. So we probably started shooting that scene in the grass. Probably like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, I guess.
Yeah.
And and so Inez, she was like 16 years old, so her parents were there, and they had told us that there's kind of a love interest, Chris and Jill.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
And so I was kind of away from Inez because I didn't want her parents to think like, I was 26, she's 16. I didn't want them to think like, there's anything kind of inappropriate happening. So I just remembered like, I'll just stay away from her. And as Jimmy Kami, I think, said in an interview, she was really complaining a lot about the heat and about the mosquitoes, and everyone else kind of dealing with it. But she was young. I think she just couldn't handle it that well. But turned out good.
It's the Moonlight
Yeah,
Sonata.
for sure.
Can you play?
Absolutely. Okay, we've got a few questions. I'm going to try and pick out the ones that come to me right now. So,
Yep.
Okay, I've got one from Mars Cakes. And sorry, there's a few above as well. Sorry, folks. I will try my best to get to all of them. Mars Cakes question. Do you have a favourite RE game to play? If you haven't played one fully, would you like to?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to play them all someday. I have this fantasy where I'm going to have this incredible man cave that I set up, with every kind of console and every RE game, and I'd love to just start at the beginning and play them all if I could. Probably take me like 10 years or
May
something.
I practice for a while?
It's nice to know that you want to get involved in the games, though. It's nice because some people obviously, they do the work and that's it, they move on. But it's nice that you still want to be involved in the community and so forth. And
All right.
Can you play the first game? Can you play it with a different kind of controller? Because that tank controller, I never get the hang.
well, I'm playing this on keyboard, so I don't play on the control. Well, if I play from my actual console, I'll play on the PlayStation, and obviously it'll be controller. But usually when I speedrun these games at a high level, let's say high level chat, yeah. I play on keyboard. I find it more accurate for like inputs and moving around the corridors swiftly.
So it's just like the arrow buttons to move or something?
So literally I use 8 keys. So my left, right, up, down is ASDW, and my aim is L, J is to shoot, K is for menu, and I is to run essentially. And that's it. So it's eight keys. That's all I need for this game. Back in simple times, chat. That's what it is.
It gets me every time.
Yeah, the good old dogs. So normally, I don't normally run as Chris as much as I do with Jill. I'm a bit quicker with Jill, and Jill's an easier run as well. It's an easier character to be. Hopefully, you can dodge that zombie there. Very nice.
Right, and that's because he can 6 items. I guess is the big difference, right?
That's it. That's the most annoying part with Chris as the game. It's known to be harder. It's less items. You have to keep going back to the chest to put things in and all of that. Really.
Yeah. Yeah, someone told me that's called Chris Redfield disease.
Yeah, I've never heard that one before. I might take the green herb here just for safety. Question: Are you sorry? Another question here for you. Are you a gamer in general? If so, what are your favorite games? This is similar to the last question, isn't it, Venus? Or I think.
So I, around the time that we filmed this, I had a Nintendo 64 at home, and I would stay up playing this one particular game like almost every night until like 4 in.the.morning, and it was Star Fox.
I remember Star Fox.
I just got so good at it that I could just go straight through it every time, without any problem. But I just loved it so much. I love that feeling of flying, and it was, I think. Really, it felt really immersive for the had back then. And I played some other games on Nintendo 64, like the Batman game, and I think I had like Mario, things like that. But I was so tired all the time from just playing games, all night long, and then going to work. And when I left Japan around 96, So like right around when this game came out, we filmed it in '95, and it came out in '96, and it was like around April of '96, and I gave my Nintendo 64 to my roommate, and I basically was like, okay, I'm never going to buy another console again. And so these days, like if I'm bored, I'll play a game on my phone. Everyone's going to probably be really disappointed with that. It's like Tennis Clash.
What? Tennis Clash?
Yeah.
I never heard of that one.
And I'm really big into tennis, and Tennis Clash,
Yeah.
it's for me, it's really fun. Like you swipe to hit the ball, and there is some technique to it, and it almost feels like you're playing tennis, and so I'm kind of hooked on that.
Oh, very nice.
But yeah, I'd love to get a console, and I'd love to start with RE games and maybe play some other survival horror games too.
I do like my tennis, if I must say. I do like watching my tennis. I actually got to see Federer in Australia a few years
Oh,
back.
awesome!
That was good. It wasn't at the Australian Open, though. It was the one in Perth.
Like a
just
warm-up
before.
one.
It was like the exhibition before they go to the Australian Open. I think it's like January or late December. I can't remember exactly when it was.
Oh, that was great.
I got a question here. Another question. What was more fun, working on Resident Evil or Castlevania? Is that for me another way to know? Chris, Charlie, have you worked on Castlevania? What? I don't know.
No, I didn't.
I don't know if that was for
Castlevania.
me or that's. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where that's come from. Sorry.
I was in another video game in Japan. I think it was maybe before this game came out. And unfortunately, I can't remember what it's called. But it was kind of like a very early motion capture kind of a game where they actually, took, and used the actual like motion capture kind of stuff in a game, and it's not the same technology they have today. I didn't have any kind of a rig on. They just filmed me and then somehow changed that into the graphics, and it's like where I'm wielding a sword and like running through a field. But I just can't remember the name of it. And I also did some voiceover on video games back in this time, like arcade games. One was like a game where you're flying an airplane, and I did the voice of like the pilot. But again, I don't remember what it's called. Back then it was like almost impossible to get copies of your work. Like these companies would never send you a video of your stuff, and you'd have to just try and record it off TV, like TV commercials and shows that I was in. I would just record them myself off the TV so that I could create a show reel. But I couldn't do that with video.
All right, let me get past. I've got a question. I'm just going to get past yawn. This is the snake. So if you get hit, you get poisoned. So hopefully I don't get hit. Just 2 seconds. This is what we have to do as speedrunners. Like we just have to run past, and hopefully we don't get bit.
Yeah. Kind of like life, right?
There we go. We didn't get hit.
Run through it without getting bitten.
That's exactly how it is. My question is, so this is mine actually, not yours, chat. I'm being selfish here. This is all about me now. Now, so I'm thinking. So, what came first? Was it you guys on set, or was the voice actors in place first for the game? Because wasn't there ever a discussion to say, well, why can't you do both? Did that ever come into fruition? Hopefully that question makes sense. So rather than having the actual game voice actors, was it never put out for you guys to say, well, or vice versa,
Yeah, so I didn't even have any knowledge of the voice actors. And I would assume that they did that after the filming. But I'm just... I've read a little bit about it, and I think, there was one particular voice actor, one of the women, and I forget her name now, but she was like the first one they hired, and she knew like all the other voice actors in Tokyo, so she was the one who kind of organized all the voice actors and kind of directed them a little bit.
Yeah.
And I remember in an interview, you know, like how hard it was for them. I don't think they were shown any images or any given the lines, you know, and there's definitely a big language barrier.
Yeah,
so
for sure. Yeah.
That's what created this, you know, campy sort of thing that ended up helping the game. You know, it was intentional, but you know, some of the lines that just don't make sense and things like that, iconic, and people just love it for that reason.
You'd say it's worked out better just by those lines not truly making sense, like when you're in the main mansion part and Barry's like, this hallway's dangerous, and I'm like, well, it's not really a hall, you know, there's plenty of lines like that which don't truly make sense, but we all fall, you know, we fell in love with those lines for sure. So interesting. Sorry, I'm just running past zombies at the moment. You're probably thinking, bloody hell, what's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful game. I mean, especially think how old it is and how it still just looks amazing today.
Yeah, and so many people still play it today on Twitch. It's super popular on Twitch, and the mods as well. I don't know if you see many mods of the games, like where like fans make their own spin of it, and you know, it's so many people.
Yeah, I've seen one where they made Chris like a giant, like all you see is like food, and you know, I've seen one where they made Chris into like a hunter, I think.
And you've got
and some other just silly ones too.
Yeah, there's plenty of like side games as well, where like Wesker's scenario and how that pans out. Does he escape the labs and all of that as well? Yeah, keep the questions coming as well, guys. Someone Moz has asked, can Charlie speak/read Japanese?
Hi, 日本語はペラペラです。I speak Japanese fluently, and I read and write it at kind of a basic level. It's a very difficult, you know, written language, and I went to international school. So we studied Japanese, you know, like an hour a day. But I was never that much into learning the written language. It's like a really big commitment. Japanese people have to keep studying the written language all the way like till the end of college. You have to learn, I don't know how many. I think you have to learn like, I guess something like 10,000 characters just to be able to read. This wasn't so fun for me.
I think we need. I think we need some more Japanese in the channel. What do you reckon? Give us some more, Charlie.
Okay.
They're loving it.
このゲームは1996年キャプコムの RE1 俺はクリス・レッドフィールドを演じたチャーリー・クラスラブスキーです。今日はマットとお話できてすごく
I have no idea. I don't know what's going on, chat. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't understand.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to give us some interpretation of that now.
Yeah, no, I was just kind of saying this is Capcom's 1996 Resident Evil 1 Biohazard. I'm really enjoying from RPD.
Man, RPD. Okay, I've got another question for you, Charlie. If you could act as Chris in a live-action version of Resident Evil 1 today, would you?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we kind of have a concept in mind. You know, if everything goes off really well with the Keeper and people love it, it wouldn't be Resident Evil 1, you know, but there is a plan for Greg and Eric and I all reprise our roles, but in the, you know, in the present day.
Yeah.
People will be like, "What? Well, Wesker's dead." Well, we'll figure that out. Don't worry about that. That is a project that we're calling Resurrections, and you know, I'm hoping that it, you know, maybe it could be a feature-length film. Maybe it could be like a web series. I'm not sure, but already have some really cool ideas about how to. And, you know, if Capcom gave me a call and said, "Hey, do you want to be in an RE1 remake?" Yeah, in a heartbeat, I'd be there. for sure.
It's amazing. So overall, with the experience of Resident Evil 1 back in '96, your experience was great. You enjoyed everything about what you did on set,
Yeah.
and it was a great experience.
It was a great experience, but I had no idea it was Resident Evil for 20 years, because we just were told it was, the working title was Biohazard.
Ah, okay,
And
yeah.
then, went on with my life. I left Japan, and I wasn't doing acting anymore. And it wasn't until about 2017 where people figured out who I was, because, they only put our first names in the credits.
That's right, yeah.
Which apparently was, apparently they did that on purpose because they were worried about other games, but poaching talent from them. And I think it's like fascinating because it's kind of like another puzzle, right?
Yeah.
That maybe it wasn't intentional, but they created this puzzle for the fans. Like, who are these actors? And, the people that were searching for us, I think, for, at least a decade, trying to figure out who we were. And then once social media kind of caught up, then someone was able to find the book. So kind of thanks in a small to them that, I'm here today with you.
Absolutely. So, yeah. I had a question. I've completely forgot what I was going to say. tends to happen a lot. I'll come back to it in a bit, I'm sure. I'm sure somebody else has got a question, though. Yeah, welcome on in, guys. There's a few new faces here. Welcome. Hope you're all well today. Welcome to our little speed run. By the way, talking about Keeper's Diary, we are going to touch on that after this run. It won't take too long. So we will we'll just go over that project as well, because we need to talk about it. It's a fabulous concept, and I'm really excited to fingers crossed see it in fruition, to see it happen. And it's gonna so basically, for anyone that doesn't know, it's a short fan made film. It's going to be about 15 minutes long. Is that right, Charlie? Would you say? Well,
yeah, that's what we're estimating.
Yeah. Okay, so Matt, if you've run out of questions, I haven't run out of questions. Not yet, anyway. I've got plenty of questions. I'm giving you an opportunity, chat, to ask you questions. Okay, Liz asked a question here. Was the Cerebus prop kept somewhere, or did Capcom take it? Cerebus. Sorry, I don't know if I'm saying that right.
I didn't quite get that. So what happened to the
dog.
animatronic thing?
The dog, yeah, the dog. Yeah.
Well, it was there, it was there on set when we filmed.
Yeah.
And that's the only time I saw it. It could be, maybe they have it in a vault somewhere, in the basement in Osaka or something. But yeah, I get asked sometimes, like, did you get to keep anything from the shoot? And, unfortunately, no. I mean, maybe I might have had some kind of script or something, but no, I would have loved to have kept something, the Zippo or the knife or, just something.
Yeah,
there
was a
someone
few...
bought me.
Oh, sorry.
Someone bought me the Zippo, so I have that. That was a Christmas present from Andrew Stallo.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting absolutely ruined on this game here. This is really a difficult fight. It's just based on luck, this fight is, because I've got to kill the Plant 42 with the knife, so it's part of the speedrun strat. Sometimes the plant's extremely aggressive, so we just need a bit of luck on our side. Just got to be careful. I've got a first aid still, but I'm in deep caution, so... Oh.
Uh-oh.
We'll be okay. It's just, this is how it is, man. It's
Get
rough.
up, Chris.
It's rough. There we go. Okay, we've got the first phase down. We need a bit more here. Yeah, this is a tough fight. I had a little practice earlier. And, yeah, normally I'll just wing it half the time. That's just how I do things on Twitch. Just wing it. I'll just turn up and win. I think we'll be okay, though. Oh, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Oh, no. Stop it, Matt. Win. Ah! Come on. Dude, please.
They should give you a flamethrower in this game. That'd be awesome.
Oh, what, flamethrower?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that part it would be. We do get one later, but we needed it there, ideally. Oh, question.
Oh, there is?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I think I know that.
Yeah, there's a flamethrower like in the cave section. You can pick up a flamethrower briefly,
Wesker,
and then you have to put it back to get through another door and so forth.
You're alive.
I've got a question from Liz. This is
Okay.
I'm curious on this one actually. It's not
Where's
Resi
Jill?
related, but favorite Japanese
Jill?
food.
I'm
My
sorry.
favorite Japanese
We were
food.
attacked
Oh,
by a
God,
strange
so
monster.
hard. You
While we were
know,
scouting around,
uh,
I hope
like
she's
Japanese
okay.
people I know, quite often are like, you know, American people.
This place is
Sushi,
crazy.
like the
If
only
we
Japanese.
stay here, all of us will end up dead.
They have such a rich food culture,
We have to
and I
complete
tend
this
to
mission.
really like
Whether we escape
kind
or
of
stay and
home
look for
cooked
Jill,
meat,
we
home
don't
cooked
have many
Japanese
bullets
meals
left,
like
and we can't
nabe
even protect
in the
ourselves.
winter. Nabe is, you know, you make it at the table.
Chris,
Uh,
there are a lot of locked rooms
and
in that house.
it's like
Check them out one
like
more
a
time.
big,
There must be a place to hide safely.
huge, I don't know if you call it a hot pot stew that you just
Okay.
you make it
Let's
at the
get going.
table by adding whatever chicken or meat or fish,
Ooh.
vegetables, you know, and it slow cooks and you just, you know, pick at it. The whole family's just picking at it, you know, with their chopsticks out of this.
Is that not
crock
similar
pot.
to? Oh, sorry. With the dumplings, I think that's something similar, isn't it? Don't they have like those hot boiling pots where they just throw the dumplings in there? Is that something similar, or is that completely different to?
There's a lot of different things. Like oden is kind of a similar thing, where there's all these different kinds of goodies, like fish, tofu, and you know all these other things, and some of them are like deep fried, and then you put them in the broth.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's making me hungry.
yeah, I mean, you know, Japan. There's so much variation, you know, from one city to the next, and you know, each city kind of has something they're known for. But I mean, hands down, you know, the most delicious things probably come from the very north of Japan, where there's cold waters, and the fish just tastes so good. Like Hokkaido, and things like sea urchin is just so fresh tasting. You know, sea urchin for a lot of people kind of an acquired
Must be
taste.
a Stars radio.
but,
It's a little bit broken.
Yeah, I think
Might still be usable.
like a really high quality meal with sushi and tempura is something I love, and I also love shabu shabu. Shabu shabu is there's a cauldron kind of thing, like a hot boiling water,
Monsters?
and there's very thinly sliced beef. You just kind of flash boil it and eat it with this really delicious either ponzu or sesame sauce, and yeah, the food, you know, it's amazing. In Japan, there's more Michelin star restaurants than France.
Wow.
Crazy the food is there.
I've never been
there-
to. Oh, sorry. I keep sorry. I
Oh,
think
sorry.
I don't know if there's a delay.
Yeah, just one
or...
more thing about
Go
one
on.
more thing about that is, like, you know, they're also really good at doing other you know, food from other cultures. Like, they're really good at making French food, Italian food, you know, just whatever. Even, you know, like Chinese food tastes better than anywhere else I've eaten it. You always just use really fresh ingredients. That's a huge part of it as well.
I'm envious now because I'm sitting here absolutely like I had breakfast and I'm not really eating since, and now we're talking all about Japanese food, and I'm like, oh.
Sorry.
It's okay. I had some Japanese food on Friday. Actually, I went to our nearby city, but I was just eating sushi mainly. I love a bit of sushi.
Yeah.
Just
And when you're in Japan, you know, there's a lot of places that they're called izakaya, and they have lots of just small dishes, and it's meant to you know, just be something to snack while you're having your beer and sake. And some of those places are so great, you know. Just
nice bit of sake.
so chicken on a stick or deep fried cheese, or you know, like all these different just little, it's almost like Japanese tapas basically. That's a lot of fun. That's like a fun thing to do with a big group of people.
Oh, stop it now. Can we move on from the food topic, please, chat? This question Killer Demons asked, but I'm going to tie it in with mine as well. So, what made you want to get into acting? Like, how did it come to be? Was it just you needed the work at the time? Because anyone else I've spoken from in terms of like Resident Evil 1, I've had Pablo Kuntz here, who obviously plays the voice actor for Wesker, and he just said it was like, oh, it was work at the time. Really, was that similar for you, or was it something that you was like you wanted to get really into, like the the acting profession? So, how did?
Yeah, I I first got interested in acting in school. Just doing the school plays and things like that. Not very musical. I'm kind of tone deaf, so I couldn't do the musicals. But I was, always in the school play. And growing up in Japan, I wasn't really that into Japanese TV and movies, except for like a couple of detective shows. Obviously, like all the cartoons and anime I loved.
Yeah.
I was never that impressed by their movies. And I, being an American, but being born there, I just had this, I guess, natural curiosity about Western films. I don't mean cowboys. I mean just, films from the West.
Yeah.
And I really, really identified strongly with, the Hollywood stars at that time. Like when I was young, it was people like Steve McQueen and Clint Eastwood and Robert Redford, Paul Newman. And I would, they would have like movies on late at night. So I would kind of creep down the stairs, after everyone went to bed, so that I could go down and watch more movies. Things like The Great Escape, or, like the Fistful of Dollars, Sergio Leone trilogy, like a favorite for me. I love Westerns a lot, but, all those like big budget Hollywood movies from that time. And, you just felt like you knew these people. You felt like they were like your family.
Yeah.
And I remember just being this, I don't know, maybe it was just a kid, but I felt like I belonged there, belonged with them. I wanted to be with them.
Yeah.
And, that was just some kind of a naive, narcissistic kind of, childhood thing for me. And I remember, like this one day in particular where I was shopping this trendy neighborhood, and they had like postcards with all the Hollywood stars on them. I was like walking through the store and just thinking, I'm gonna be one of them. That's what I'm. And then, later in life, I went to San Francisco State University, and I was going to study film there.
Yep.
And it was one of the better film programs in the country. And since it was a state school, it was really affordable. And got there, the major was impacted. So what that means is they had so many people in the program that they weren't letting anyone new in the program. And I just kind of, started having a lot of fun. It's college, partying and things like that.
That's
and
what
then,
you do, yeah.
But I always, not just being an actor. I think, my aim was I wanted to be a filmmaker, but I never pursued that. And then, just kind of, I've always just kind of been the kind of who rolls with the punches and, just do what I have to do. And I just kind of went from one thing to another. And then I went back to Tokyo. It was like around 91 or 92. And my father had import-export business, and I went to work for him. And I, still had this kind of itch to do acting. So I started doing it just on the side. And at that time, a lot of work in Japan for, acting, modeling. And I was having quite good success with it. And so eventually I quit working for my dad and just did it full time.
There you go. Brilliant.
It would have been from about 92 to 96.
Yeah. Would you say those are like some of your best times, you know, of your life? Like going back to what you know that, and is that why you probably consider why you're reprising a lot of these new roles now within the Resident Evil community that are coming about, and it's great to see.
Yeah, I definitely look back on that time as, you know, kind of like the best time in my life, where I had a lot of independence, and you know, I was working not just as an actor. I was also a talent manager for a talent agency. A unique business model that this agency had, where all the managers were also talent. And we would, you know, we were all like foreigners. Some of them were American. There was an African guy in the office, but
So I think we lost you there for a moment.
sorry.
Yeah, sorry that you lost. Yeah, I think you're back now. Do you want to say something?
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, you broke up then like quite a bit. Sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, so I was
now,
working as a talent manager and an actor, and so I was working like pretty much every day. Not always as an actor, you know, but sometimes I would be on set interpreting for other people, and sometimes I would be taking actors to audition. Sometimes I'd be doing both things. I'd be auditioning and also managing the other team. And I worked almost every, like I almost never took a day off. I just loved what I was doing. I had this badass Kawasaki motorcycle. That's how I would, you know, get around Tokyo, and amazing I'm still alive. Motorcycle. Actually, I lost my license 2 weeks before I left Japan.
Oh God, what happened?
I had to go in front of a judge. It was just like that was the one last you know, speeding ticket that broke the camel's back, and so they took my license and they made me appear in court, and the judge, you know, was like, "What do you have to say for yourself?" And I was like, "I'm leaving the country in 2 weeks." And he was like, "Oh, okay, well, whatever."
See you later.
That was that. But yeah, I would, you know, there was this particular district in Tokyo, Roppongi, and also, you know, where all the nightlife was, and that's where, you know, I would spend a lot of evening, and you know, I was a young man. I had, you know, a lot of girlfriends, a lot of fun, you know.
Jealous.
And so I look upon that time, very nostalgically.
So I am getting a lot of questions that I'm kind of like, I'm not deliberately missing them, guys. I apologize.
Right.
Robin, to answer your question, would you record Chris lines if asked? We did tie in that earlier. Charlie did say that obviously any opportunities that come from Capcom would be, I guess, greatly appreciated.
Like, would I be the voice actor?
Yeah, if anything come, I'm assuming you'd take that, wouldn't you, Charlie? If any, why not?
Yeah, I'm actually, I'm hoping, you know, once I get my computer and I want to get like a really nice quality microphone, and I want to try and launch a voice acting career. Although people I've spoken to have said, you know, that the market is watered down now. There's just so many voice actors out there, and you can't just be a voice actor. You have to also produce it yourself, and you know, you have to, you know, be very technical and do all those things yourself. But they still just pay you as a voice actor, you know, even though before you would just show up at a studio and all those other, you know, things would be done for you. Now you have to, you know, be an expert on capturing the sound and you know, transfer files and thing, paying you probably than what it was before. So it would probably just be a hobby mostly, you know, but I have like a voice acting studio at home.
But there'd be like, there's plenty of opportunities. I mean, would you go into streaming or anything like that? Would you like do, you know, playing a few games on stream, you know, build your community and stuff like that? Would you consider that?
I'm not sure about playing games. but I think I'd like to do maybe a podcast.
Yep.
And just interviewing people from this community, whether it be actors, voice actors, or artists, producers, people that have been involved in these games. I'd love to kind of have a podcast where I get to interview them. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and people would help, especially like the likes of Residents of Evil that you're close with and so forth. I think you've got all those connections already there really as well, so they can help you with that path if that's what you desire, I suppose. So it's great, really. It's great. So I've got a few more questions here. Does Charlie still speak with any of the cast from RE1?
Yeah, I mean, not regularly, but yeah, I'm friends with Greg and Eric, and I'm hoping to kind of bring them back into the fold, because with the current project, it's just me from the original cast. But after we reunited like 14 months ago, I know especially Greg, wants to get back in action. And I know Eric does too. Eric's, kind of a really busy guy.
Yeah.
But he wants to be involved as well. And I think, even just doing some other stuff together, like, Andrew and I did the Samurai Edge video, where we demonstrate, this replica of a samurai, a working Beretta, that's modified to like the Samurai Edge.
I saw that. It was a great video. Yeah, I saw the
So
shooting
I think it'd be fun to do some videos like that with Eric and Greg.
Oh, I hope so. I hope they get more involved in the future for sure. That'd be great to see. Just 2 seconds, folks. I'm just go on.
How about a music?
What's that? Sorry, you're breaking up there. I don't know if it's this room. It's too loud.
Maybe I down. Please.
Yeah, this room will be past this this room's so loud in this game. Oh, but are you still there? Oh.
I'm here. I'm just turning the volume down. Maybe
it's
does
okay
that help a little bit?
It's okay though. That we just in and out. It's just the loudest room ever.
Oh, okay.
Like we always, mess about in chat talking about it. It's just like, just blows your ears out. Sorry, I'll skip what you said then. Apologies. I don't know if it was anything important.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, I was just kind of joking around. I was like, maybe Eric and Greg and I could form a band and do like a music video.
What would your role be in that band?
My role in the band, I guess I'd be lead singer because I can't sing at all.
Same. I always sing on Twitch though, but like I'm bad at it. But I just do it anyway. It's fun, isn't it? It's fun to sing. It makes you feel better.
Yeah, maybe if there was some kind of auto-tune thing on.
One chubby bunny, to answer your question, does it make you cringe when you look back and listen to the dialogue of the voice acting? Well, I don't think it would make you cringe, Charlie, because it's not your voice acting, isn't it, in the game? So I don't think it's cringe anyway. It's beautiful.
I don't cringe. I mean, I find it, I find it amusing, and I've actually done some translation for Japan, and I know how challenging it can be, and I think a lot of this must have been translated from Japanese to English by a Japanese person. Just some of the obvious mistakes. So I don't cringe. I find it kind of amusing.
Would you like to see it?
Yeah, I agree. I love it. I've got so many fond memories of this game, and that's why it's so great to have you here today, because it's a strange one for me. This is like, obviously I played this when it came out in 1996, or I think it came out in like 97 maybe in the UK. I don't know if we had the game brand new. We may have had it like second hand at the time, because games, I didn't come from a wealthy family, so but I remember getting it, and I remember me and my dad just staying up like till 1 a.m. just sitting there on the end of the bed, just playing it on this little TV. And
was that I'm trying to remember, was that uncensored, the one that was in England?
Oh, I don't know. Chat. That's a good. I've played that many different versions, Charlie. I don't even know anymore. I'm not sure. I've got the game still.
Yeah, it's one of those interesting things. Like I saw a whole flow chart about like, okay, it was censored in this market and that market and this and that, and I think it was not censored in Japan. I think it was censored in America. I'm not sure about England.
I think it's black and white.
Black and white.
Yeah.
Some of them were black and white because the color was too bloody, I guess. Too much blood.
Yeah,
like that.
Does that mean it's any different version you get? It's slightly different every time, like because you got like the original Resident Evil, then you got the director's cut, then you got the DualShock versions as well, and I think they interchange as well. There's that many different versions. I can't keep up. You'd think I know, considering I play a lot of Resident Evil.
Yeah.
But,
No, I mean there's dozens and dozens, right? I think.
Yeah. I think it was Germany that had this censored thing, wasn't it? That's what someone was saying in chat. Let me just get past this boss and. Okay, this is what we call quick shooting, where it's like a spam of 2 different buttons and you can just quickly shoot and kill the tyrant like that. There we go. That was a decent fight, that was, chat. Look at that. Did it?
Yeah.
Gone. Wesker's on the floor. See you later.
Boom.
So director's cut was supposed to be the colour uncensored, but they did a boo-boo. Oh, okay. So they messed up then. Yeah, I think we had the black and white one in the UK, didn't we? Yeah. Keep your questions coming, folks, and then we're going to be talking about the upcoming project, The Keeper's Diary, in just a moment as well, because we are near the end of this game. We haven't done too bad. It's quite a quick run, really. By the way, because you probably know that there's different endings on this game, Charlie. This is just this is known as the bad ending, so we don't save anybody. The reason, I mean, on the speedrun website, officially, there's many different categories that you can speedrun, but the quickest category is the one where you don't save anybody because it's less time. So that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Get it done as quickly as possible.
So what's the best scenario is where you save Jill and Rebecca and Barry, or was it just Jill and Rebecca?
You don't really see Barry on Chris. So like usually,
okay.
So on this for Chris, you got Rebecca and Jill. So Jill's locked up in the cell that's been put in there by Wesker, and so yeah, you want to save Jill, and by doing that, you need to collect like 3 MO discs, and Rebecca, you need to just make some important choices throughout the game to make sure you save Rebecca. And obviously, if you play as Jill, you save Chris and you save Barry. So that's kind of like So in the end, you do utilize all characters, I suppose. But if you do a better ending, you actually get a final fight here with a tyrant. But because it's bad ending, there's no one here, so we just finish the game. That's it. You just wait for the cutscenes to kick in. I think there's like
or Barry. He didn't get to make it into Death Island. We were all like waiting for him. We were waiting for him to show up in a helicopter at the end, and he never did.
Poor Barry. We need more Barry. You never know. Capcom might say, do you want to play a Barry in the future? It's like, forget Chris. Do a Barry instead. Can you imagine?
Make me all ginger. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Do you have a favourite of all-time movie? Oh, interesting.
Yes, I do. I do have a favorite all-time movie, and it's the original Blade Runner. I think that is like just a cinematic masterpiece.
Great film.
And I have a lot of other favorite movies too, but I think, if I had to choose one favorite of all time for me, it's the original Blade Runner.
Yeah.
It was so visually stunning, and love the story. And it's loosely based it's loosely based on the book. I think it's called Do Androids Dream Electric Sheep? Like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, but the book is quite different to the movie, and the movie is much better than the book.
Here's you again, Charlie. Yeah, I've got a question about all. Look, he's just sad. He's just gonna have a cigarette. Do you actually smoke?
Yeah.
Did you smoke at the time?
I do still smoke. I'm trying to think maybe, I just turned 55. Maybe it's about time that I should probably quit.
Cut back.
But smoker since I was like 16.
Yeah. Yeah. By the
We used
way,
to-
do you remember? Because it's like obviously with every ending with Chris, there's a different cutscene on the chopper. Do you remember all those scenes? I mean,
Yeah, we were, I guess, so just the three of us drove out to the outskirts of Tokyo, somewhere in the middle of nowhere. I couldn't tell you where it was. And we shot those in a temporary structure, at a construction site. It was like one of those small little box, buildings. And that's supposed to be the interior of the helicopter. And so, yeah, I remember it must have been Inez and Linda and I probably drove up there together. And my uniform was like sparkling clean, like my shirt, a white shirt, and there was not a spot on it. And they were just going to film it like that. And then I spoke up and I'm like, I've just been through hell. Like, why is my shirt clean? Doesn't make sense. And they're like, yeah, you're right. And it had been raining, I think the day before, and there was some mud in the parking lot. And I went, rolled around in the mud to get my shirt dirty. And it still wasn't that dirty the first time I came back. Like, no, go back and do it again. I went back 3 times altogether, rolling around in a big mud puddle.
Rolling around a puddle, guys. There you go. This is commitment. This is acting, chat.
And yeah, and I think, there should have been some blood on the shirt too, but it was too late to come up with some fake blood, at the last minute there. But yeah, that was a pretty short. There wasn't a lot to that day. It was like 2 hours to drive there and 2 hours to drive back. But we were only there shooting for probably just another couple hours doing that stuff in the helicopter.
So the total, how many hours do you think you put into the game overall for all the different scenes that you did? How many days would you collate that to? Would you compile it?
So there was 3 days of shooting. One was in a studio where we shot the credits.
Yeah.
So that was the whole cast was there. That was fairly quick. I think we did it in maybe just 2 hours, if you include all the time with wardrobe and makeup and all that kind of thing. The first day where we shot the exterior scene, I think we probably showed up there at 4 or 5 o'clock and probably went until about maybe 11 o'clock at night or something like that. And then and then that day, so it wasn't a lot of time involved in shooting it, but there was also the first time we all came together was at the wardrobe fitting. The whole cast and the wardrobe people and Shinji Mikami and a few other people were there. And then other than that, that was just maybe an hour or two where we all tried on our costumes, and then they took some measurements and made some marks on the costumes where to alter them and things like that. And then for me, I also had to go to a hair salon to get my hair dyed. And originally they were going to make my hair blonde, but because my hair is kind of dark and there wasn't a lot of time, they just used peroxide on my hair, which made it turn a little bit, almost like an orange color. And then after the shoot was all done, then they had me back to the hair salon, and they dyed my hair back to its, kind of its natural color. So, and then that was it. I never saw or heard from them again. I saw some of the other people in the cast, especially Eric.
Yeah.
Regularly, because he was a working actor. And sometimes I would be representing him. Sometimes I'd be competing against him, for parts. And I'd also just sometimes I'd just see him around Tokyo. I'd be riding my motorcycle and I'd see him, I'd be stopped at a red light and he would come zooming past me on his bicycle and blow the red light and just go straight through. He was a total maniac on his bicycle. And Greg, I don't think I don't think we ever worked on another job together. He might have done some voice acting or something like that. But I might have taken him to a job once or something. But I didn't know Greg that well then. And I don't think I ever saw Linda again, who played Rebecca. Inez did a couple of jobs. And I remember also she had another Australian friend who was a really pretty tall girl, Jazuli. And I took Jazuli to a job to do ring girl in an exhibition, boxing match.
Yeah.
So she was the ring girl. Whenever there was a new round, she brought around the boxing ring. And then just Eric and Greg are the only ones I'm still in touch with.
Oh, brilliant! It's a shame that
And nobody really knows that much about Jason. I think I saw him just that one time on that job, and I saw someone found a TV commercial that he was in for I think it was like a car commercial, and around that same time.
Yeah.
I've seen that on YouTube, but still nobody seems to know what his last name is or anything about him.
Some people are just like that, where they're just not really interested in getting to know people fully. Just get the job done, get out, and keep things to themselves, really, don't they? Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the people that our agency hired were just there temporarily in Japan, just like passing through, like tourists or students, and they would hear about how they could earn a little bit of money and have some fun doing like TV and film work. So kind of like a revolving door in a way.
Sounds like me, Moz. A job is a job, don't get attached.
Yeah.
Charlie, one last thing before we move on to the Keeper's Diary.
Sure.
What, like, if you don't have to answer this, but what is it that you do now then for like work-wise and stuff, like, if you don't have to answer if you don't wish to, if it's private or whatnot.
Sorry, the gun was kind of
sorry.
loud.
Yeah, it does this on this game. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's loud, and my apologies. What is it that you do for work now, if you don't mind answering? What is it that you're involved in nowadays, like work-wise?
So ever since COVID, I've been working as a used car salesman, and it wasn't really something I intended to get into. But when COVID hit, I had just started a new job at a kind of a startup sort of company. And they import fish directly from the fish market, the Oyosu fish market in Tokyo.
Yeah.
So it's like high quality fish, delivered like basically within 24 to 48 hours from the fish market directly to restaurants, like Michelin star restaurants and high-end sushi restaurants here where I live in Northern California. So as soon as COVID hit, they had to lay me off, and so one of my tennis buddies owns a used car business, and we're pretty good friends. So he needed somebody, and I needed a job, so I ended up there, and I've been there for about 3 years now.
Yeah.
But it's kind of run its course, and I'm trying to figure out because I have to work like 6 days. That's not really going to be too compatible going forward if I want to attend conventions and do more filming projects. So I'm trying to think of something that's more flexible, maybe some kind of work from home kind of job or work from anywhere kind of job would be ideal for me.
Yeah.
But I'm still trying to figure that out.
Well, I do sincerely hope you do figure that out, and that'd be great. And it's good that you've found something post during COVID and all that. I know it's been difficult for a lot of people, so
I like cars, you know,
but you like bikes as well. Yeah, clearly.
And bikes, yeah. I'm getting a custom one built right now, but I've been waiting for it for like 3 years already. I'm not sure if it's ever really completed. But yeah, it's been about the same amount of time since I've ridden. Like I used to ride in Tokyo, and I rode a little bit here, but I haven't really ridden a bike in about 20 some years. But I'd like to have one just to kind of just for fun, you know, not for commuting.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of love in chat for you anyway. You know, you credit to the Resident Evil community, and I think a lot more people are excited to get to hear more of your stories and so forth as well going forward.
Cool.
Shall we have a little chat about the Keeper's Diary? You know, for another 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then we can call it a day if you want to talk about that.
Let's
What I'll
do
do
that.
is I'll close the game down now, and I'll just bring up the website. I'll try and share that screen to you as well, and we'll just touch on that
Okay.
briefly. And what I can probably do is have the chat on the screen as well, all being well. Just bear with me. It's all this tech again. This is another thing you'll have to deal with when you start doing your podcasts. So you're doing all your
Right.
PC stuff. You've got all this to come, Charlie. You've got all this to come.
Yeah.
I lost your camera now. Hang on. Oh God. Oh.
All right. Well, since you're having technical difficulties, I'm just going to go fill up my coffee mug.
No-
I'll be right back.
No problems, buddy.
Mhm.
Okay, folks. I know I've missed a lot of your messages. I'll do my best to go through those questions. It's just a bit difficult when we like do 2 or 3 different things at once. So what I plan to do with the Keeper's Diary stuff, this is, it's a short fan film, RE inspired. Obviously, they've had to say inspired based on Capcom. You know what they're like. You got to be careful. So what we'll do, we'll just quickly show you the trailer. It might be the story, this one. Oh, welcome back, Charlie. That was quick. I thought you'd have to put the kettle
Oh, yeah.
on.
No. Oh, yeah. No, I brewed some coffee this morning. It's just sitting there.
Yeah. I'm just on the website, the Indiegogo website. So I'm just going to explain to people in the chat what's going on here. So if you type in ! Keeper, there's a direct link to the website where you can still, even now, donate to the project. And, you know, yes, the goal's been completed. However, with these sort of Kickstarters, it's fair to say that people do retract some of their money sometimes. And I'd rather this project have more money than less money to make this work. And I want to see this project work. And I'm sure you do in the channel today as well, folks. So what I'll do is I'll just bring up the trailer, and then what I'll do, Charlie, is I'm just gonna put our cameras on the just move our cameras for a brief period, just so we can make this work. So I'm not
All right.
sorry, I'm not explaining myself very well to you. Let me
I
share
think I
my.
get
What
it.
I'll do is I'll share my
Yeah.
screen completely, so you can see what's going on at least. There's lots going on. There's a chat as well. Oh, and what I'll do is I'll hide my camera. Can you see me now? don't
I
know.
just see the
Oh,
I just see the website.
Oh, you can't see me? Okay, that's pretty good. You don't want to see me anyway. Okay, this is the short trailer, guys. Enjoy.
The Keeper's Diary.
I don't have any sound.
Oh, you don't? This is the wrong link anyway. Where's the trailer for this? Is the one when it's like the 12-minute one when you go into the big conversation. I was looking for the
Oh
more
yeah,
the,
if you
the-
want,
yeah, I need the
if
trailer.
you want the trailer, I guess you could go to like YouTube or somewhere like that,
Yeah.
or like Facebook, the Keeper's Diary
Yeah,
page would
It should be on
have
there
it.
somewhere. I've been. It's like. Is this it here?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Can you? I don't know if you're gonna hear this, okay, but everyone in the channel will hear it anyway, Charlie. If you can't, sorry. I know you've probably seen it a lot of times.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, no, I don't mind. I just wasn't sure if they could hear it.
Yeah, they're all right. Right then, guys, this is the Keeper's Diary. This is a trailer to what's going to be happening in the future, featuring Charlie Kraslavsky. So sit back and enjoy the short trailer, and this is what you can donate towards the project today. So enjoy. You might hear it, Charlie. Can you hear anything yet? No?
Just your voice.
Oh, sorry. I'll be quiet, then I'll mute myself. Sorry, I'm going to pause it there. I've got my big camera on, and it's just in the way of everyone, so
It's all good.
let me just hide my camera. That's better. I'll just have to hide myself. I've got 2 computers that run my streams. You see, there's a lot going on.
May 19th, 1998. Fever gone, but itchy. Today, hungry. And eat doggy food. May 20th, 1998. Itchy Scott came. Ugly face, so killed him.
Very exciting. Written, directed, produced, and edited by Andrew. Oof, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I hope you all enjoyed the trailer for.
All right, I won't show more of that. But if you do check out the Indigo website, everybody, let me just get the cameras back on here. You know, you want to see Charlie, don't you? Righty, where's the link's gone? Trust me, I've done this quite a few years now, Charlie, and I'm still really crap at it.
I think you're doing just fine.
Oh, thank you. Okay, there you go. You're back. Oh, no, I'm back as well. There we go. So, as I said, though, folks, so everybody in the chat, type in the command, !keeper, click the link, and if you can donate, even if you can't donate and you can share on your socials and Twitter, that'd be great. It does help. Every little helps, guys. Remember that. So, yeah, support the project, and let's support this fan-made film. 15 minutes. Might be longer. You never know. You never know. But anyway, Charlie, after seeing that, how did it become? Like, did somebody approach you? How did it all start, this project?
For me, it started with a request to connect on LinkedIn from Andrew Solo. And he sent me just a little bit of information about himself, and then the storyboard for The Keeper. And, to that point, I'd been contacted before just about doing, like podcasts and things like that. But I'd kind of always kind of had this secret hope that someone would want to do another, film project with me. So when this popped up and when I saw the storyboard and how detailed it was, I was instantly impressed, and I contacted him right away. And it turned out that he had also contacted Eric Pirius, and Eric Pirius contacted him right back too. So it was like just like the good old days, me against Eric, in an audition. And ultimately, Andrew chose me for The Keeper. And then things just kind of took on a little bit of momentum of their own in a way. And that's how we then decided to get all three of us out, to Utah to do the interview with Andrew, and then shoot the Keeper's Diary teaser. And then as a last minute thing, like we're like, all three of us are here together. We need to film something with the three of us. And so we threw together a teaser for that concept, Resurrections, and that was like last minute, no money. And a lot of it, he just, added in post, like the helicopter scenes and things like that, little green screen stuff in there. And that teaser is not a very high quality, but it's because it was last minute. But for The Keeper, Andrew spent a lot of time and his own money, building the set. And luckily, we were able to use the studio where he works. He works for a university. And the helicopter, it's a university that has this big aviation program. So we got to use the helicopter for free.
Oh, wow.
We didn't take it around. We just green screened everything. And it's amazing all the connections that Andrew's made. Like we also, when we did that I'm sorry to get off topic, but when we did
carry on.
Yeah. When we did that Samurai Edge video, like we had the full cooperation of the sheriff's department, and they even filmed a few things together with us in that video. And those guys are awesome. The Iron County sheriff's office, those guys are just like fantastic. And we might have a chance to work with them again. That would be fantastic. But so that teaser you saw, that's, you know, from 14 months ago. And that's just, you know, Andrew, you know, just using his own money, just a few $1,000s. So now that we've met our goal, and our goal was $40,000, and we smashed that, and we're still, you know, we still have, I think, like 6 days left.
That's right.
And
7 days, sorry, seven days.
7 days.
Yeah.
And some people are like, well, you met your goal, so like, why is it still going? Well, $40,000 is like the bare minimum that we need to make the film. So any money that we raise on top of that is going to allow us to make a better film. So that's why you still see the, you know, the fundraiser still going. And there will be an accounting of it. You know, we are going to put every penny that is donated towards the film. And also, I would just like to say that, you know, these posters that are in the perks, they're fantastic, first of all. And we can't sell those posters, you know, unless it's for crowdfunding. We're not allowed to profit from selling those posters. So once this is all done, like, you're not going to be able to get those posters anywhere.
Yep.
And I think they're destined to become collector's items. So there's still posters left. So if you want like a really cool poster, you know, me as the keeper, or we have some of, you know, me as Chris, although we're not allowed to say it's Chris. So it's like male detective.
Yeah.
And some other like really amazing ones of female detective, for example. You know, and they're going to be signed. So yeah, you know, it's like somewhere between, I think, like $40 to $60 for the posters. But
I was just about to go for the options anyway, whilst it's on the screen and everybody can see it anyway. But Bow Street, thank you for the donation towards the project. That's great, and thank you for sharing the project as well on your social spaces as well, chap. Appreciate that. So yeah, as you can see here, with a $10 contribution or £8. Sorry, I'm British, I know, so we all, you know, British pound here. But you know, you can get your name on the what does it say here? Here, name appears in special thanks in the credit section. So there's 272 people that's claimed for that. It's a lot of people. And then obviously when you go down, you've got a digital copy of the script for £16, and that's $20. And then you got the female detective poster here for £28, $35. Sorry, I'm just going to say dollars. I just want to say both, Matt. Come on. And then we've got the security operator poster for $35. There's free claim on that. And then we've got the Keeper's Diary movie poster as well for $35. So there's plenty of perks here, guys. It's not like you're just donating. There's something you can get back out of this as well. And as Charlie said as well, this is limited edition. Once this is done, it's done. You may not ever get your hands on anything like this again. So, you know, we've got the KD movie poster here. Oh, there we go. We've got the signed Zombie Keeper poster. This is the one that we should all be going for, really. The Zombie Keeper poster, signed by Charlie. Includes special thanks perk. There you go, chat. Look at that. You know what? I don't think I've claimed this one. I'm going to have to get this later. I need one of these signed. I could put it on my wall, because you can't see me today. I know we're obviously doing this from phone, but you know, I've got a whole like merchandise behind me, like a wall full of stuff. So I need to get on this before it closes. I did make some donations, but on the other ones.
Thank you,
I'm gonna have to get that signed one though, because I've got signed merch by other people in the community in the Resident Evil. Like I got Pablo did like a flask.
Nice.
And a book that's like limited edition. So I've definitely got to get you in this room somehow. That's not an innuendo, by the way, chat. You know, I know there's plenty of dirty people in this chat, Charlie. You know, you got to calm them down. Got a mind of their own. But yeah, as you can see, Keeper's Diary t-shirts, plenty of merch here, guys. So please go and take a look. Charlie leather jacket poster.
Yeah. And just one thing I'd like to point out, it can be a little confusing because we had to add, you know, there's some duplicates on there where I think there was a problem with shipping to the rest of the world. So you'll see the same thing twice sometimes. And then if you're not in the US, you have to choose the ones that say ROW, rest of the world. And some of them, it might not say signed, but like all these posters, with me and I think with Female Detective, they will be signed. So don't worry about that.
That's good to hear. That's good. I did get a question about this actually from Amal. Can you get a credit and a poster with paying for the poster, or do we need to do both? So if someone buys a poster,
good question.
That's a good question indeed, isn't it? That.
I'm not sure. I would have to ask Andrew. I would think that buying a poster probably automatically gets you in the special thanks, but that's a question that didn't come up for me before, so I'd have to ask Andrew.
Yeah, we'll find out for you. We've still got 7 days left, so
or Andy Cox would know. Andy Cox kind of said everything.
I'll speak to Andy. I've got him on the WhatsApp, so I'll drop him a DM in a bit and ask the question about that. It's a good question though on Amal, so we'll find out for you. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I think you can also, donate any amount. There's like another thing at the end that says just donate, and I don't think that, I don't think that gets you any special thanks or anything like that. I think that's designed for people that, just want to donate a token amount less than $10. But I would think if you've got the poster, you probably also get the special thanks. I would think.
We'll find out on that one, chat, for anyone that's
but
interested.
Then how long is the credits going to be? It's going to be like
well,
the movie's 15 minutes and the credits are going to be 15 minutes long.
You have 5 minutes of credits. It depends.
Unless they just go by like.
Yeah, that's what you need. Oh, God. I'll tell you what, this one's really interesting. The signed copy of the script, I think that's a good deal for $100. I really do. Because that is going to be like a beautiful perk to have in your room, especially if you're like a content creator around like Resident Evil as well, or just a major fan of the franchise. But we've got to stop saying Resident Evil because obviously Capcom, all that. So this is the Keeper's Die, but so you got signed scripts again there, and there's lots here, guys. Please check out the link !Keeper. And what I've got panels made as well. I'm a Twitch Charlie. I know you don't know anything about Twitch yet, but you may in the future. Beneath your like the people watching, you've got like detail about me, and obviously we've got some images of the Keeper's Diary, and people can click on it and check that as well. Oh, custom cameo. That's an interesting one there.
You can get a custom cameo. You can get a private phone call.
45-minute video call over a glass of whiskey. What do you reckon, chat? And then we got the Charlie signed PS1 video game. I need to get that from you. I've got that many Resident Evil games. Like the first one, I've got the Sega Saturn port, PlayStation port. I've got that many different versions. Can you imagine getting all them signed? And then we've got the associate producer credit there for 2 This is where it gets steep now. This is where you got to have the cha-ching.
Yeah, so on Thursday, I think we were still about $10,000, just a little more than $10,000 away from our goal, and then 2 people on that day got that executive producer perk, and all of a sudden we were like, oh, we're there. So that was a fantastic day on Thursday where all of a sudden, I was kind of still feeling a little nervous, like, are we going to hit the goal? And then I'm like, I need to decompress, and I got in my car and I was going to go to the beach and do some boogie boarding with my friends. And I'm like pulling up to the beach, and then my phone just blows up, and it's like Andy Cox, and he's like, "We did it!" And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
Like in the span of 12 hours, and oh God, what a relief that was for me. I was just over the moon, and now it's just like I want it to be October already so that we can just start.
Yeah, I remember because when I was speaking to Andy about getting you on, I was under the, I was thinking we're going to have to try and get some donations today, like push it, to try and get that. Because it was, we was doing, I think it's an amazing achievement to get to where, the project's got to in terms of the funding. Because, I was thinking I'm going to have to just really entertain it today a lot more. And I think the pressure's off a bit now because normally we do these things to try and push over, we've done a lot of charity work in the past and that for different projects as well. And I thought, how can we try and get people to donate today? And I was like, I was talking to Andy about it. I was like, yeah, we can put on a bit of a show, do a bit of a speed run, and have a little chat and make it because I don't like doing things formal. I like to just make it informal and just go with the flow. Really, that's the way I like to do things. I don't like to have a script. I'll just go with it. I'll just go wing it.
Yeah, it makes it more fun.
It makes it fun. It makes it it feels natural, doesn't it? I suppose, but. Yeah, so it's a bit of a relief when we got. I was like, "Oh my god, Andy!" We was all messaging each other in the WhatsApp group. I was like, "Look at it, we got it!" So it's a massive achievement. I'm really excited. And I know a lot of people in the community deserve this because the reality is, I love the games, but the movies for me just don't do it because I want, something that is going to represent something from the game for me, and I want to see something that people understand, like us gamers need. But anyway. Sorry, I'm just going off on one note.
No. You're preaching to the choir. Yeah, I think those movies, can be enjoyed if you just think of them as something that's not Resident Evil. But I think there's a lot of people that have been waiting for something like this to come along, The Keeper's Diary, and I think if we have the kind of success that I think we are going to have, then maybe we can bring you even more content, and that it'll just keep growing. So that's my hope.
Yeah. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here today, Charlie. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your morning. I know you're not a morning person, but I really appreciate it.
Well, I'm getting older, so it's like my eyes just pop open, especially in the summer when it's like hot weather. Like I just wake up early, but it just means that I'm going to spend more time watching the news. Like I'm not very active in the morning. But yeah, now it's almost time to go off to work. Hopefully I'll sell a few cars, and then maybe I will check in with you guys again before The Keeper, because this is a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Any final words for Charlie, everyone? Everyone's saying thank you, Charlie. It's been awesome. Thank you. Any one last question? No? I know Charlie's got to go in a bit anyway, so we'll let him get his fourth coffee. I don't know how many coffees he's had so far.
Yes, on number 2.
Everyone's just saying massive thank you. There's a few people donating as well. Brilliant. Thank you for the donations, folks. Thank you. Make this happen. That's what it comes down to now. So yeah, put in a good word for me, Charlie, that I want to be the dog. Like,
all right,
get me in there. I'll literally, mate. I'll run around like on all my fours. You'll see the greatest dog.
Okay, so we're into method acting. So if you want to play the dog, you're gonna have to live in a crate from now till October.
Let's make it happen,
just to kind of get you really angry. You're an angry dog.
Let's do it.
Why did you keep me in this crate?
I want to be the dog.
That's your motivation.
Well, I can't be anything else, can I? So, what else is that? That's what I want to be. I want to be in it. I want to be a dog. Yeah, I'll fly over from the UK. Let's do it. But no, okay. We will let you get off. But thank you very much, Charlie. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here today.
It's been my pleasure.
Thank you very much, buddy. And I'm sure we'll talk soon. So, I wish you all the best. I will see you off, Charlie. I'm just going to mute the stream now, okay? And then I'll be
right... Don't go!
No, don't go, Jill! I don't know, that was my own interpretation of that one, guys, all right? 2 seconds. I'll be right back, chat. I'll be right back.